Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Monette and this is my channel Evolve with Monette. I'm an intuitive empath that works with clients all over the world, and I am also an author and a chef as well as an all-around life path 3. What I do is I bring in some pop culture conversations so that we can kind of move the conversation about what it takes to evolve along. I want to make it relevant and engaging for you. And I bring to you things that I work with my clients on, lessons that I'm learning or lessons that I'm working through. And one of the things that's come up to me here, and this is for my empaths out there, empath love, woo woo. If you're an empath, intuitive, psychic, any sensitive working in the metaphysical community, a light worker, whatever the moniker is that you've taken on for yourself, it is important to understand that boundaries are a big deal. And you'll hear me talk about this all up and down my channel. I really am an advocate for those boundaries. And one of the things that was hard for me to learn was how to understand if someone was toxic. When you're an empath, you are melding emotions with people. You sometimes don't know where someone ends and you begin. And so until you do a lot of grounding work and root chakra work and really paying attention to yourself, it is very easy for you to become enmeshed with clients and or people. So that's why I really recommend empaths, before you begin this work, do your work, because otherwise it can get tricky. One of the things though in my own personal life I noticed with toxic friendships. Now, not every friendship is the roaring narcissist and not everyone is mean, and sometimes we have off days. So everything doesn't get a psychological determination, right? But toxic energy and toxic friendships do exist. And sometimes people weren't really mean to me, so I would think, I can't understand. And it was like a robot malfunctioning, like, does not compute, because they weren't as mean as I had dealt with, or people that were maybe disrespectful or whatever. And so I kept kind of haggling with myself, really haggling, that would be the word, about whether or not they were toxic. And what came to me when I was doing my morning writing recently was that you have to stop haggling with yourself about whether or not the person is toxic. What happens, and what I do teach and what I've identified, is I call it the beehive syndrome. Not so much bumblebees, we love our bumblebees, but when you come upon a beehive, instinctually, your prefrontal cortex understands you're in danger. Even if those bees aren't swarming and they're not flying towards you, something in you says, I should stay over here because I don't know what's going to happen. And for me, because I have a little bit of a trypophobia, trichophobia, I think it is, but where you can't look at like holes or things up close or magnified, freak me out, right? So when I look at a beehive and it has those like mounds and they're like undulating and then the bees are all on them, that is what I have taught myself to associate with toxic people and energies. And this was a technique that I taught myself a while ago in regards to how to understand when you're in danger. Because just because someone isn't bearing their canine incisors at you, and just because they're not snarling and being directly mean, doesn't mean that it may not be a threat to your energy. And so I will make another video really getting in depth there, but I just wanted to jump on here really quickly to say, stop haggling with yourself. If you have a frenemy and you feel uneasy and you are thinking too hard about your interaction with that woman or man, it's toxic. And that means you love yourself enough and are worthy of having a boundary and not interacting on a really deep level. If you have a bestie that may not feel like they're a bestie and they feel like they're adversarial and you're oddly protective of yourself, stop negotiating with yourself about it. It's toxic. It doesn't have to be Jason and Nightmare on Elm Street for it to present a danger to you, especially if you are doing this energy work. It is dangerous to you. And also what's happening here is a two-part opportunity. You're getting the moment and opportunity to start to fine-tune your hearing so that when you're doing your readings and your work, if you're an empath watching, and if you're not, if you're a mother, if you're a dad, if you're a human, we all have intuition, we are all psychic. So what you're doing when you're listening to, I call the beehive buzz, you understand I'm in danger, and that helps you to fine tune and avoid other moments where there could be a pitfall or a person that isn't necessarily healthy. It is okay for small things for you to set up a boundary. It is okay for you to say this person is toxic and put them in a distant place in your life, maybe on the periphery or out of it completely if it's possible. So even if it's not a dangerous, huge threat, let me reiterate, please take up for yourself, be your own advocate, and understand you can't keep haggling with yourself over whether someone's toxic. Your intuition is right. It is strong and it is clear and it is specifically tailored for you. Do not disregard it or disrespect yourself by second guessing whether or not the feeling you have that makes you feel anxious, whatever that is for you. For me, it's the beehive. What is it for you? Comment below, please. But whatever that feeling is, don't disregard it. That is how you stay safe. That's how you survive. And even though you may not be, again, in that pressing immediate danger, our energy is precious and we have to protect it. So do yourself a favor, excuse me. Believe people, as Maya Angelou says, believe who people are when they tell you. And if you sense danger, even though none seems apparent, don't just walk away, run. And pat yourself on the back while you're running. All right? All right, comment below if you have any experiences with this or you have had an encounter with somebody where you're freaked out, creeped out, getting the heebie-jeebies. It is a real thing. We make decisions in a split second, guys. Malcolm X in his book, The Tipping Point, Malcolm Gladwell, excuse me, different Malcolm Gladwell, who wrote The Tipping Point, talks about how we are making split-second decisions upon meeting people, essentially supporting my theory that we're all psychic. And it's not my theory. It is a theory that's widely held and shared. So comment below about when you've known you were in danger, and maybe comment below about when you know you've been haggling with yourself about not to or whether to engage with someone when you know in your heart they're not for you or that you are not vibrationally aligned. All right, guys, talk to you soon.